much and appreciate your work, and I think these people do also. Mayor Augustine. Well, what shall we talk about?
Sally Yates.
No, we don't want to talk about the San Francisco Giants. I'm sorry, we're just not going to talk about them.
Is that what I said?
Maybe the A's, they've done well the last 3 games. The Warriors, a lot of things. But let's talk about what I think is on everybody's mind, and that's what's going on in Washington.
Yes.
Bottom line, what is going, it is bad.
45 is crazy.
You have been around about as long as I have, and I doubt that you've ever seen anything quite like this out of our government. The administration is at best in chaos, and then it goes from there. Yesterday's hearings on the Russian involvement in the election gave us some additional insight into what's happening. There's absolutely no doubt that Russia did influence the American election, did participate in hacking and in using that information to try to affect the election. Whether it would have changed the outcome or not, that'll be debated for generations. But nonetheless, it did happen. We've got to get to the bottom of it. I think there's one thing very clear about yesterday. How many of you watched the hearing yesterday? I thought so. Most of you. I watched part of it. I put aside some of the other work I was doing to catch it, and I came out of it, with some additional information. It's very important. I thought the 2 witnesses were exceptional, clear, very concise, and very careful to avoid stepping into problems such as classified information. But also the partisanship that was so obvious in it led me to believe once again that it's absolutely essential that we have an independent, nonpartisan, outside the Congress commission to look at this whole situation.
Yep. Yay.
I've been saying that from the very beginning. I've been involved in politics, political life for 40 years now, and there's just no way that you can avoid the partisanship on both sides, Democrat and Republican, or independent. It's just the nature of Congress, particularly in this particular period of time where there is a very keen partisanship going on. So this is too important. This is really, really important. Not so much about last election, but about future elections. How do we protect the vote? How do we guarantee, and Russia tried to hack into the voting systems. They were apparently not successful, but nonetheless they attempted to do so. If you move a vote, for example in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, or Illinois, you move that vote by 1/10 of 1%, we'd have a different president. Mm-hmm. So you've just got to really be very, very sure that our voting systems are safe, secure, and accurate. And we need to know what is it that was happening there. And of course, all of the bad information and so forth. So we need to understand for future elections. Obviously, France and the European countries are deeply engaged in trying to protect their democracy from Russia. So we've got a real serious problem that we need to fully understand and comprehend. So that's just one piece of the chaos of Washington. The administration is not yet formed. Key positions are not filled. Information is and work is just not getting done. And then there's the Congress. The House of Representatives last week did a very, very horrible, cruel thing to America. Yes. And that is they took away health care from 24 million Americans.
Yep.
Excuse me, my elementary school English teacher said I used the wrong tense. They attempted to take away health care. And it's not just those who have been able to get health care through the new exchanges, through the subsidies that are available in the private insurance market, but also the Medicaid, which we call Medi-Cal in California. It is a huge hit on California, should that ever become law. Talking about $14 billion a year taken out of the California medical system. More than 50% of that goes to seniors. The single largest group that gets Medicaid, Medi-Cal, same in California, Medi-Cal in California are seniors in nursing homes, in long-term care facilities. And so that's money directly out of seniors in the future. So it begins soon, and then by 2020 it would be a huge, huge hit. In addition to that, there's some $4 billion a year that come to subsidies for those people that are able to get insurance and have it at a subsidized rate. So that's some $20 billion a year hit on California that would take place over the next 2 to 3 years. It is a huge hit. So how does California make it up? Raise your taxes or cut the benefits. Drop the 3.5 million people that have been added to insurance in California through the Medi-Cal program and simply say, we're sorry, you're no longer going to get insurance. You're not going to be on the Medi-Cal program. Or the 1.5 million people that are in the private insurance sector with the subsidized on the exchanges. Sorry, you're out of here. Good luck, do the best you can. That's not right. It's simply not, it's not the way we should be. We should be caring for people. We should make sure that as many people as we possibly can have insurance. And it's not just that they're going to use it when they're sick. The way these insurance policies are set up under the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is that there is a comprehensive package of benefits. And you have benefits that range from things that, well, most of us in this room wouldn't need anymore, maternity care. But think about family values. If you're really interested in family values, you really care about that, you ought to make sure that women are able to get maternity care.
Yes. Definitely.
But I will tell you, when I was insurance commissioner, 1991 to 95, and again 2003 to 2008, I was the insurance commissioner in California. And every single day I had a fight with some insurance company that was denying benefits because of pre-existing condition. And all too often the pre-existing condition was that it was a young woman that was pregnant. And finally she looked at her policy and said, no, pregnancy and maternity care are not covered. And then if it was covered, and the child was born with some sort of problem, that child was not covered by the insurance program, even though the family had health care insurance for the whole family. The child was born with a pre-existing condition of some sort. Maybe it was an eye issue, maybe a heart issue, who knows, any kind of thing. And not uncommon among young children that are born. But they were not covered until at least 2 weeks or more after their birth. What was that for? That was to save the insurance company from having to pay a bill. It was wrong. We tried year after year to get the California legislature to overcome the power of the insurance industry and to guarantee in California that there would be no pre-existing conditions. We failed. We failed year after year after year in this state, as liberal as you may think it is, to be able to put into the law that there'd be no pre-existing conditions in the California health insurance market. Then, in 2009, I was the final vote on passing Obamacare in Washington, D.C., where we outlawed pre-existing conditions.
Yay!
I had a lot of experience about this. 8 years of my life fighting the insurance companies over this issue. Since 2010, with the passage of the Affordable Care Act, pre-existing conditions in the nation of the wealthiest people in the world no longer exist. You get an insurance policy regardless of whatever your medical condition is. And then last week, the House of Representatives passed a piece of legislation that said, not to worry, there'll be no pre-existing conditions. It's up to the states. Wait a minute. I've been there. I've seen what the states do. They kowtow to the insurance companies, and they roll over, and they will write insurance laws in those states that will eliminate essential coverages, such as pre-existing conditions, such as annual checkups, such as maternity care, contraception, all kinds of issues. And for the men, you're going to get it too. I know what will happen because I have been there.
Except
And they
the
say not to worry.
option is not.
If you don't
Condition.
have a policy and you're sick and you can't get a policy, we will have a high